something is happening to me, and it's never happened like this before. First, I saw a video on YouTube of our mayor and my city council member giving away $62,000 to an indigenous group for a festival in Great Day Park. The group I researched, and I believe they are wealthy Indians associated with the casinos. So why would you need to give that kind of money to them for a festival? They put in $10,000 of their own, so I wanted to see what a $72,000 festival is like. And I'll post the link below if it's still up. It consisted of a cardboard stage and telling stories and dancing and doing some rap music. Doesn't take a lot of money. That's what the issue is. And because of other decisions being made, I felt the city council and the city of Escondido could use my wisdom. For one thing, I have a degree in economics and accounting, so that'll help because you're not going to see me squander money. I'm here to tell you. But something beyond that happened to me. I kind of was thinking about how to make this happen. How can I win an election? Because my biggest concern is finding a place for the homeless to go so that they are safe and they are out of our neighborhoods. They don't need to be here. There's a huge homeless industrial complex going on, and it doesn't need to be where people live, where kids go to school, where people pay taxes. This used to be a beautiful place to live, and the mayor's answer apparently is to have these patrols, and as soon as these patrols clear the people out, the homeless, who the police tell me are a criminal class and are addicts, they come right back. And I'm not talking about the nomads, the middle-aged women living in vans because their families have abandoned them. I'm talking about hardcore people, the kind that assaulted me and a store manager down the street. So as I'm thinking, I just got this feeling. I've been watching the ICE raids, and they're pretty harsh. I'm all for supporting the law. I voted for Trump. I voted for Reagan and Pete Wilson and Prop 187 to keep illegals out of our state. And now in my own neighborhood, I'm a minority. And I don't care if they're hardworking, and I don't care if they think they deserve to be here. This was forced on us against our will because of the ruling class that supports the New World Order and the erasure of our boundaries. I don't hold it against the little guy. I hold it against the Bill Clintons, the Ted Kennedys, the Hillary Clintons, the Terry McAuliffe that screwed up our country so that we're losing our culture and our borders and our language. That's who. And I got to thinking, how can I reach out to the Hispanics for my campaign? Because around here, they don't speak English, and the ones that do speak English live on the other side of town. And I started to get messages from my great-grandfather, and I don't say this lightly, but he was a missionary in the Philippines for 35 years. He settled the estates of the people that died and gave money to the Methodist Church because he was a lawyer too. And when he retired, he moved to LA and started the first United Methodist Chinese Church in Chinatown. And he gave hope and comfort to people who were fleeing the Chairman Mao regime. And some of those people were illegal, and they stowed away in boxes and tanks aboard ships to get here because they were going to starve to death in China. Somewhere around 45 million people starved to death under Chairman Mao. And I started to see the similarity between these illegal immigrants who stow away in gas tanks and back of trucks to come here to escape desperate poverty. And look what's happening to them. When ICE jumps out of a truck, they run, they're tased and brought down. And then in the next video, you'll see a guy just like him ask an ICE agent to help him use the CBP Home app so he can go home and collect $1,000 and maybe come back legally one day. And the agents wouldn't help him. And I think, these illegals, one of them had a profound effect on me. He was on YouTube, and he said, we come here to work, not run. And that's the problem. They have no idea that America is our homeland, that we built this, and we had all these other people, legal or illegal, forced on us when Ted Kennedy changed the immigration laws in 1965 so that white people could no longer be the majority. And something just told me, my great-grandfather, Reverend Dr. Ernest Samuel Lyons, is talking to me to go out and to give hope and comfort to these people who are running and hiding and living in fear. That's the base problem. They're not the ones leading the war on the West. So just on faith, and my tears are not emotion, it's a spiritual cleansing I have gone through, because I looked up where the last ICE raid was, and I took a sign I made myself that says, God be with you. And I just on faith went out onto this corner and parked in the 7-Eleven parking lot and got out. And this is like a total Hispanic area. The only white people there drive through. They don't live there. And here's this white woman getting out of the car with her sign. And I see people looking at me skeptically, not sure what this is going to be about. And I just went out onto the corner and held up that sign. And it took about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for people to warm up to the idea. And then, oh my God, it brought the house down. I wasn't sure if people even believed in God anymore. I wasn't sure if I'd be shot or have rocks thrown at me or what. People went nuts, honking, waving, cheering, smiling. These people reacted like they knew me. And there were kids, coming home from school, and they were saying, "God bless you, ma'am." And I've never seen anything like it. What I realized is that God is universal, and it's the one link we can all have together to bring us as one. All of the contention and the hate and Trump supporters here and the far left here, the one thing we have in common is that God loves us all. And I went to another neighborhood where an ICE raid had been conducted, and my friend accuses me of going on to the other side. These illegals are just pawns in the game. They are exploited, taken advantage of. These big companies use their labor and then will pay them. I saw a documentary where a guy named Frank was over by the Northgate Mall, and he was suicidal. He felt helpless. He was being interviewed for this documentary about illegal immigration because he worked for a big agricultural company in Connecticut, and they used his labor and didn't pay him, and he ended up back in Escondido without knowing where to turn or what to do. How in the world has this been an American dream for him? We need guest worker programs, because I think most of these agricultural jobs Americans really don't want. I don't think most American kids are gonna slog around and manure in their flip-flops to milk a cow or pick fruit or whatever. It's insanity what is happening. So on that day, people are smiling and waving. Some are white, some are Hispanic, some are old, some are young, some are female, some are male. I didn't think we had that many believers left in the world. And there were two Hispanic girls walking uphill across the street with their backpacks. And the whole time they're looking at me and smiling. I've never had anyone that happy to see me, truthfully. So the third day, I went over by the Northgate Market where Frank had been, and I sat in a chair and hold up the sign, and this black older man pulls up in a truck, and he is yelling and waving and cheering me on, and he stayed there quite a while. God doesn't have a color, he doesn't have a color. And that's what Billy Graham used to say, and it's the truth. So before I knew it, there was this young man standing in front of me, and I didn't even see him until he got right up to me. And he asked me my name, and I told him Melinda, and he told me his name was Andy. He said, "You have done me so much good, because I have heart problems, and the doctor doesn't think I'm gonna make it, and I needed to hear your message." And the thing is, he looked really healthy. He had a glow about him. And he said, "I hope you stay out here. I hope you keep doing this, because these people need to hear this." And truly, as he went on talking, he was like maybe 24, 25 at the oldest. He sounded a lot older than his age. And I started to wonder if this is one of those angel encounters you hear about, because I truly don't even know how he got there. And he just kept telling me to keep coming, like someone was talking through him and telling me to keep doing this, and I will when the weather cools off a little. It's kind of hard in 91-degree weather to be sitting out there. and something is happening. I'm being called. And one day I was sitting there thinking, how in the world will I ever get from this sign to be the mayor? And a voice in my head said, Melinda, this is so much bigger than being mayor. Don't worry about it. And so I won't. This is the moment that I have been put here for. I have been through the biggest amount of crap, if you'll excuse the expression. I have been abandoned, abused, had money stolen from me. I have had every kind of betrayal. I have had Satan send demons after me. And I survived it. That's the big thing. And I knew in my heart someday God would make it right. I just knew I had some kind of purpose. But I'll be darned if I know what it is until now. Now, this is what the suffering is for. To bring people to God. To let them know He is real. That is the big story. That He is real and that He loves them, and that one way or another we're going to be all right if we are secure in our faith and our love for Jesus Christ. And that is my message for today. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and take this journey with me, because this is a spiritual awakening I never thought I'd see. It's going to be big. I've got that feeling. I hope that you remember to pray today. Pray for the suffering, for the less fortunate, the Franks of the world who have no one to turn to these people living on the streets because they're prisoners of their drug abuse. And take care. I will see you later, and thanks for listening.